YouTube, what up? We reacting to Five Nights at Freddy 2. Then we gonna react to some other shit. Also, Megan, Rules of the Underworld. I think that's Star Wars and Superman sneak peek. Let's do it. Oh shit, let me turn this shit down. Fucking scared.
Welcome back. Are you ready to start the show? Count with me now.
I'm very scary, bro. Especially when shit in my ear.
3,
They're out there, Mike.
2,
Where?
1.
Everywhere.
No jump scare. Okay. I can deal with this. I'm not scared.
Showtime.
That's creepy, bro. Okay. My little trailer. I know I missed a bunch of shit because that was fast. Jesus Christ. And we are going to watch that full analysis because I know I missed a lot. So let's do it.
Today we're going to be doing a breakdown of the new Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie trailer. If you want to see my reaction to the trailer, go check out the live stream I did today at this timestamp. I can't show it here because of copyrights, but I will leave it linked in the description below. Without further ado, let's break down this trailer frame by frame. Here we go. So the trailer opens with the poster we saw from the first movie that was featured in the first FNAF pizzeria. And I actually think this is the original FNAF pizzeria we saw in the first movie. As you can see, the poster and the glass on it is all broken. And as we know, at the end of the last movie, the pizzeria was completely destroyed by the end. We know because of the behind the scenes vlogs that Daco, Ryan, Baz, and Razbowski did at the FNAF movie 2 set, that the pizzerias are basically right next to each other. It's like a SpongeBob, Krusty Krab 1 and Krusty Krab 2 right next to each other. They are literally in the same parking lot. I don't know if they're going to showcase that in the movie and show that they're right next to each other, or they're just going to make it seem like they're far away. Not sure yet. So we're going to go back to that pizzeria, probably see the remnants of everything left behind after the end of the last movie. We then see this endoskeleton powering up, and if you recognize this endoskeleton, it's actually not the endoskeletons we saw from the first movie. These are the FNAF 2 endoskeletons. If you want to reference, here is the endoskeleton from the first movie. Notice how their jaws and their mouths are more rectangle shaped, and these ones are more rounded. These are the Endo 02 endoskeletons from FNAF 2, which makes sense because we're going to see the withered animatronics and the toy animatronics in this movie. We then hear the William Afton saying, "Welcome back, are you ready to start the show?" That, I think, is an obvious nod to the fact that the FNAF 2 pizzeria is the new Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, as we saw in the FNAF 2 game. It was being branded as the brand new grand reopening of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. So that's probably what he means by welcome back. The fact that we're getting this voice line at all, a voice line of William Afton, probably in the Spring Bonnie suit entertaining the kids, means that we're gonna see flashbacks of when the pizzeria was active, which I think is gonna be really cool. We didn't get much of that in the first movie. I'd love to see some good flashbacks. What we're seeing here is some sort of outside attraction where people are literally cosplaying as the Freddy Fazbear gang. We know this is the Faz Fest, and we know this because of the vlogs we got from Daco, Raz, Ryan, and Baz, where we saw the poster on the front of the FNAF 2 pizzeria, or even the FNAF 1 one. It said Faz Fest. This is the outdoor festival based on the Freddy Fazbear Pizza gang. I don't know when this is taking place. I don't know if this is going to be a flashback, but it seems like people are literally cosplaying as the characters, which is interesting. And while William Afton is speaking, we can actually hear the puppet's music box sound playing in the background.
Are you ready to start the show?
Then we get to this wheel, which looks like one of the things that you can play at this outside Faz Fest. We then hear William Afton say, "Count with me now." And for the next about 10 seconds, he's going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's what's happening audio-wise. Now, we see Abby pulling up on her bike to the FNAF 2 pizzeria. You can literally see the FNAF 2 sign in the reflection of the water, just like the first movie in the trailer with the reflection of the water. I can show that on screen right now. We get another shot of Abby looking up at the FNAF 2 pizzeria. It's almost implying that she's never been here before. Her face is looking kind of shocked, kind of bewildered. It's almost like if the pizzerias are right next to each other, like we saw in the behind the scenes vlogs, you feel like they would know it was there. They might do a little gag in the movie where they'll put the camera on the first pizzeria and then just pan over to the second one and say, "Oh, there's a second one." I don't know. But Abby looks a little bit shocked that this thing exists. So then we get this, which is probably the most most important plot detail we get in this trailer. It's a note from Abby that says, "Gone to fix my friends." And then we see Josh Hutcherson read the note. And basically, this is a big thing for the movie because it's showing us what is going on. Why are we going back to this FNAF 2 pizzeria?
Okay.
Well, it's because Abby, probably on that Faz Talker thing that we saw, I think that's what it was called, that we saw in the doco teasers that he got for the charity stream, they're talking to Abby through that, saying, "Please come help us, come fix us." And what's funny is that it might not just be referring to the toy animatronics. It might not be the toy animatronics reaching out saying, "We're broken." I honestly think this plot point is Fazbear is using parts from the original animatronics and putting them into the toy animatronics, aka they're breaking the animatronics. So the souls in the animatronics that we saw in the first movie are being split up.
Now I'm sure you've noticed the older models sitting in the back room. Those are from the previous location, and we just use them for parts now.
Parts of them are being put into the toy animatronics, which is something that I talked about in my
When did
FNAF
he say
timeline
that?
video if you watch that. Obviously in the first movie, Abby calls the animatronics her friends. So when she
Yeah.
says "gone to fix my friends," I think if it was the toy animatronics and this was a whole new set of kids, it would be "gone to fix my new friends." Do you know what I mean? It's giving to me old animatronics are being torn apart and used for the toy animatronics, and now her friends are broken. So this frame in itself is actually a big reveal for this movie. Vanessa
she gonna be
survived
trying
the
to put the
stabbing from
parts
the
back
end of the first
together?
movie. And I know we all thought that she was going to survive, but the fact that they're showing her tells us that it's probably not the biggest reveal in the movie. She's also not wearing her cop uniform anytime throughout this movie. I have a feeling she was probably relieved of her duties, or she kind of is taking a break from being a cop after everything that happened. But we see her showing up to Mike's house saying, "They're out there, Mike." And as we're going to see in the rest of the trailer, she's probably talking about the toy animatronics and how they're going throughout this whole town and just killing people in their houses, just killing random people. This is something we never saw in the games. We never saw the toy animatronics just roaming a neighborhood and just randomly killing a bunch of people. That is crazy. We then get our first look at Toy Bonnie, which looks like it's poking through a curtain, like trying to see through a curtain in someone's house or something. It looks like this is another scenario where the toy animatronics are showing up at people's houses and just going nuts. So then we see a continuation of this conversation between Vanessa and Mike, and Mike is saying, "Where?" Basically, where are the kids? Where are the
Them
animatronics?
motherfuckers
And then we
slow.
see someone hitting the Showtime button, and it looks like, based on the hand right here, it looks like a man is hitting this button, which it easily could be Matthew Lillard, aka William Afton, hitting Showtime, but this is probably the Showtime button for the toy animatronics, which is gonna be really cool. And it's important to note that this is a different Showtime button from the first movie. The Showtime button in the first movie was on the wall. This one is on like a little controller-based thing. So then we hear Vanessa say, "They're everywhere." So basically, the premise of this movie, toy animatronics are all over the town, wreaking havoc on the town. Then we get this frame of what looks to be a teacher inside of a school who is about to be brutally killed by Toy Chica. We see Toy Chica's eyes slowly light up. We can see her beak showing. This is our first look at Toy Chica. And then this guy doesn't have the best day. Toy Chica literally grabs him from inside the closet and pulls him through. Imagine that being the last thing you see, Toy Chica. Oh my gosh. And then we see Toy Chica walking in some sort of back room. We see a speed limit sign right here, and it's literally just Toy Chica walking for about 2 seconds. If I had to guess, this is in the closet that we literally just saw. Maybe it's her walking into that
more than
closet.
likely.
We then see this. Mangle literally breaking through someone's window, and Mangle looks insanely good. I don't know if this is CGI. I think
know
the
what
window
Mangle
is maybe CGI. I don't know. This is once again following up on that theme of the toy animatronics just going throughout this town and wreaking havoc. And the next thing we see is actually Mike and Abby and Vanessa freaking out, which means that this is probably in one of their houses. Mangle is attacking them, and they actually look terrified, which is an interesting thing to point out because Abby was never terrified of the animatronics. Not until the animatronics literally tried like putting her inside of that one Springlock suit and killing her. She wasn't terrified of them. She saw them as her friends. So the fact that these animatronics are scaring Abby so much is an interesting detail and makes me think the way the toy animatronics are behaving is more of an AI thing and less of a vengeful spirits type thing. The spirits of the kids want revenge on everyone. It seems like this is some sort of crazy military class AI that has gone rogue. And I think parts of the kids' souls from the first movie are attached in those toy animatronics and are just being dragged around and are witnessing all of this chaos and can't do anything about it. So then we get this shot of Toy Chica lifting up a garage door to get inside the garage. This is once again showing the toy animatronics wreaking havoc on some neighborhood. The poor housing prices are gonna go down in this place, I'm telling you right now. And then we see Toy Bonnie actually holding some sort of sharp object. It looks like almost like a crocheting needle or a sewing needle, and Toy Bonnie is about to stab someone.
Knives.
Toy Bonnie is about to stab someone with a crochet needle. And it looks like the people that Toy Bonnie is about to stab is this wonderful old couple that we've never seen before, which seems to be just a random old couple that is featured in this movie. I have no idea. These people could be important. They could not be important. I think we literally see the shadow of Toy Bonnie's head on the wall here. Do you see that right here? So it looks like this is the very next clip. We then see this interesting shot, and I actually think this is a dream shot. I think this is a dream sequence, and I'll tell you why. We see the doors open, and they're all shaking. It's almost like William Afton back there, obviously that's William Afton, opened the doors with his mind, and they're all shaking at the same time, which makes me think that this is some sort of dream sequence, probably by Vanessa. Then we get this shot of Vanessa pulling up her gun. We then see Balloon Boy. A real life Balloon Boy is sitting somewhere in some warehouse right now. I'm not kidding. There is a real Balloon Boy in real life right now. As you can see, his eyes slowly start turning on. It's almost like he's a projector, like he's gonna start playing a movie or something with his eyes. This is in one of the FNAF pizzerias. As you can see, there's a checkerboard wall right here. You can see some TVs right here in the bottom left and some posters on the wall up here. I wonder if Balloon Boy is gonna do anything because his jaw doesn't really move. All he can really do is use his hands. I wonder how Balloon Boy is gonna kill someone. That's an interesting thing to say. We then see this shot of William Afton dressed as Spring Bonnie picking up a knife, and it looks like this is in a kitchen because it's like a stainless steel counter. It also could be some sort of workspace maybe. We then see Mangle literally taking someone by their neck and dragging them up. What in the world is going on in this movie? Mangle is gonna be the coolest thing I've ever seen on a movie screen. I'm not kidding. It actually looks like this might be a school that this is taking place in. We can see some drawings on the walls. You can see like a holder for a bunch of crayons and a table right here. We can see lockers right here, some shelves. This is either a Freddy's Pizzeria or some blonde woman driving this car right now, and what looks to also be Mangle or something literally like on top of someone's car, piercing through the windshield. This is insanity. We then get another shot of Abby, Mike, and Vanessa freaking out at something they're seeing, probably some sort of toy animatronic or something. We then hear William Afton say showtime, and then we see this woman who looks like could be related to Vanessa. I have no idea, and she is screaming for her life looking up at something. It might be Mangle, like we saw earlier with Mangle like taking someone by their neck and dragging them up. I don't know. And then we get the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 logo, and then we get one of the most exciting parts of this trailer. We get Toy Freddy at the Faz Fest, and you can see all of these people. God, I would love to be one of these people. We could see all of these people dressed up as the animatronics at this Faz Fest outside, and there is Toy Freddy walking around. It's our first full look at Toy Freddy, and he looks incredible. As you can see, the eyes are a little bit red, just like they were in the first movie, which means this guy is not messing around. This big outside Freddy Fazbear festival seems to be a big part of the movie, and I'm curious to know what the lore significance of this is. Did it take place in the games? What year does this take place? Is this after all the restaurants have shut down, or is this a flashback? Is this showing us back when the pizzerias were in their prime? You know, this also could be some sort of Halloween festival, and we know that in the Silver Eyes trilogy, Charlie, Henry Emily's daughter, was killed at a Halloween party, or taken, kidnapped at some Halloween party. So maybe this has to do with Charlie. Maybe this is a flashback to show Charlie in the movie possessing the puppet and what happened with her. That's my best guess right now. But the fact that the toy animatronics are even there at the Faz Fest also tells me that this is in the modern day. So I guess we'll have to wait and see for the next full trailer to find out. And then we get written by Scott Cawthon, directed by Emma Tammy. Same director, which is great. Written by only Scott Cawthon. I doubt it was only Scott, but that would be really cool if it actually was. I think this plot, we got some general plot with this
okay, anyway. Yeah, so that was informative. Not really. I don't know. It was a short trailer. But well, yeah, who's excited? Y'all let me know if y'all excited. I'm low-key not after that. I can't lie. But yeah, this seemed cool.